Hey, what's up guys? Jason Julius here, and it is so good to see all of your smiling faces. I'm really excited about this video because I'm going to talk about something that I've been really passionate about lately, and that's meditation. And more importantly, how you can use meditation to improve your love life. Whether you're a woman who wants to learn how to have better, more intense female orgasms, maybe a guy who wants to be able to, help your woman achieve amazing female orgasms. Maybe you're a guy who wants to learn how to last longer. Maybe you have some performance anxiety that you want to get past. There's a lot of different applications that you can use meditation for in your love life that will really greatly improve it. But one of the biggest things is just having that self-awareness that really transcends into understanding your partner and understanding yourself. So even outside the bedroom, you can have an amazing relationship and really connect on a deeper level, right? And so weirdly enough, I had a lot of people that introduced meditation to me and they swore by it and they thought it was amazing. And I hesitated to get into meditation because I was like, why would I want to just sit there for a while and sit there in silence or bring my attention back? What do I get out of it? And I have a massive respect for meditation after having done it for quite a while now, but you kind of want to start into meditation without having a goal in mind. But at the same time, you have to understand, what are you going to potentially get out of it, right? And so when you look at meditation, you look at it as a mental practice. This actually helps you understand that there is going to be some benefit to it, in your love life or even in your personal life. Going into the mental dojo, if you will, of meditation actually helps give you perspective, right? So I just got back from about 3 weeks in Greece, and it was great to get away. I was hanging out on the islands, just got away from everything, and then I come back and you get that perspective. If you've ever been on a trip for a while and then you come back, I think that's why a lot of people like to travel, is they get perspective. They get that bigger perspective. And I feel like I came back and the little things weren't a big deal, and it just kind of felt really good to get away. I come back and everything feels like it's back in flow. Well, I feel like meditation is like getting kind of a microdose of that all the time, that ability to get the big overhead view of everything. Because when you're meditating, the interesting thing is, and I wish somebody would have told me this sooner, is that when you are meditating, and it takes a little while meditating to be able to see this, you get this zoomed out perspective. When you sit there in silence, sometimes you'll start to hear a voice in your mind, and it's talking about what you need to do today. Maybe it's judging something in the moment, or saying, hey, I'm not very good at being present. And you feel all these different emotions at the same time. Sometimes they're in conflict with each other. Sometimes they're going along with each other. And when you've meditated for a little while, you start to disassociate with the voice in your mind and the feelings that you're having, and realize that you're the container for both. Why is that important? Because when you realize who you are is the container for your logical ego type mind and your emotional mind, you can actually step back and disassociate and get more into a flow state, which is really important, particularly when you're having sex and you want to be able to maybe achieve deep levels of female orgasms and let go. The prefrontal cortex has to quiet down. So as a woman, being able to practice, pulling yourself into the present can really go a long way in becoming more present during sex. And as a guy, even understanding that, the mind works in such a way where there is that, chatter part of your mind, the emotional part of your mind, and being able to help her step out of that might help you give your woman amazing orgasms. Or as a guy who wants to last longer, being able to disassociate with the feelings that you're feeling and the intensity of the sensation that you're having. You can turn the volume down when you actually step back and realize that you're the stage for all those things to happen, and you do have a lot more control. And so the practice of meditation actually gives you that advantage, that bigger picture perspective. Now, when you're actually meditating, the interesting thing is I'm still really bad about staying very present. Even in a 10 or 20 minute meditation, my mind is always wandering. But it's been helpful to understand that it's actually going to happen even to people who have been meditating for a long time, but it's the actual, workout, if you will, the mental workout of bringing your focus back to the present when your mind has wandered, and continuing to bring it back. The more you're able to bring it back to the present, the more you build that mental muscle. So when you're in, the intimate moment with your partner, whatever it might be, you have that muscle built to where you can bring awareness to yourself, but you can also bring awareness to the moment, realize that you're not the future, you're not the past. The only thing you really have is right here, and you can become extremely present. And as a man, being able to be extremely present also pulls your partner into the present, because we have sort of like mirror neurons where we get pulled into the state that we experience with the person around us. So it can help to really be in the present to help her pull into the present. As a woman, if you want to be able to let go and have amazing female orgasms, it helps to be able to build that muscle of being able to become more present, be able to get away from that voice in your mind that might be overthinking, maybe making a judgment based off of something in the past. Anything that's pushing on the brakes, you're able to sort of release the brakes and let yourself go by having that practice of meditation. But in the grand scheme of it all, the really important thing is just a practice of self-awareness makes you more empathetic to the human experience. It makes you more empathetic that, we are a logical and emotional being, but it's usually the emotions that are driving the car, not the logic. When you start to have that sort of empathy towards yourself, you start to judge yourself less. You start to allow yourself to be who you really are, and you start to see that in your partner. You start to realize when they're in a certain state or saying something, you don't react, you actually empathize to where they're at, and you actually can relate to them better. You can actually have an experience where, you help them through a thing instead of, getting inside of your mind and, butting heads, getting both in your logic and your egos are going at each other. You have that empathy, which then transcends into your sex life, which transcends into that amazing connection that you have. And you can deepen that by really practicing that practice of self-awareness. And I think that is the benefit that you can get of introducing meditation into your life, introducing it to your partner. And it's really pretty simple. I would actually say if you want to start out meditating, I would really say start out for 10 minutes a day, because if you start to make it too big of a commitment, sometimes people don't follow through. A lot of times people are like, I'm gonna meditate for an hour, and that's difficult starting out. Just do 10 minutes a day. You can use an app like Headspace or Calm, or the one that I use the most is Waking Up by Sam Harris. I really like that one. You can do a 10-minute meditation. He's always kind of bringing you into the present and kind of giving you a perspective of your mind. And any of those are going to work to build that mental muscle to bring you into the present and be able to practice being able to calm your mind, get into the moment, and get outside of those judgments inside of your head, get outside of the emotions and logic going on, and see that you're the stage for it. So you can turn up the volume level or turn down the volume level on the pleasure that you're feeling, or empathize with your partner, or any of the above. I think that it gives you a great vantage point, and I think that alone should be a great reason that you want to meditate, but it also transcends into so many other areas of your life, your personal life, your whatever, business life or whatever. It's an amazing practice. So I hope that gets you as excited about meditation as I am. I went from doing 10 minutes to up to 60 minutes a day. And once you get about 45 minutes in, that's when you really break away from those voices inside your head and you start to actually see that bigger picture. So maybe you could eventually work up to that, but don't even worry about that. I would just do 10 minutes a day for the next 30 days and notice the little difference in your ability to pull yourself back into the present. Go to that mental gym, and I promise you, you're gonna love it. It's gonna transcend into your love life and into your relationship with your partner. So I hope that helps you a ton, and I hope that you love it. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I have a lot more cool content coming up, and I will see you in the next video.